Ahoy, me bucko. I spy with my one eye some fine trinkets.
Aye, let's take it.
Arr. Here we are.
Matey, where are the weapons?
Scallywag, these are the weapons.
You wasted my precious time for forks? Give me a good reason not to kick your arse to the sea.
Calm yourself before you get too excited. Don't want you soiling your breeches now, do we?
5, 4.
Just a jest. We can always sell them. They look like they're made out of silver.
Fine, but do you expect us to get these forks when we don't have the money to buy them? Much less can we steal without that hawk of an attendant watching us.
You gonna buy some or what?
Aye, me mate is just choosing his favorite fork.
Hello.
Mate, you know I can't read numbers, so sort them for me in merge fashion.
Are you drunk at this time already? What the bloody hell is sorting in merge fashion?
A proper pirate must always be drunk and must know the way of merge sort. It's just like when we merge ships together to board them and get our loot. Arr.
No one sorts like that, you crazy loon.
Just do it to keep the owners less suspicious and so I can think of a way to steal them.
Fine.
Now that we have our forks numbered based on their pirateness and our value, we can sort them. First, we divide the sequence in half, and we continue dividing until the original sequence is divided into multiple one-element arrays. Then we merge the single element arrays into sorted two-element arrays. We compare the first elements in the first pair. 4 is less than 7, so 4 is before 7 in our new array. We compare the first elements in the second pair. 1 is less than 8, so 1 is before 8 in our new array. We compare the first elements in our third pair. 2 is less than 5, so 2 is before 5 in our new array. We compare the first elements in the fourth pair. 3 is less than 6, so 3 is before 6 in our new array. Now we merge the sorted two-element arrays into sorted four-element arrays. We compare the first elements in our first pair. 1 is less than 4, so in our new array, 1 is first. We compare the first remaining elements in the first pair again. 4 is less than 8, so 4 goes second. We compare the first remaining elements in the first pair again. 7 is less than 8, so 7 is the third element in the array. Because the first array in the first pair is empty, 8 is automatically considered the smallest in our last comparison for this pair, and is added appropriately to the end of our new array. The process for the second pair is very similar. We just compare the first elements, choose the smallest element, and move it from its original array to our new array. We repeat until we end up with 4-element sorted array. 2 is less than 3, so 2 is first. 3 is less than 5, so 3 is second. 5 is less than 6, so 5 is third. 6 is smaller than an empty array, so 6 is fourth. Now we do the same in our sorted 4-element arrays. 1 is less than 2, so 1 is first. 2 is less than 4, so 2 is second. 3 is less than 4, so 3 is third. 4 is less than 5, so 4 is fourth. 5 is less than 6, so 5 is fifth. 6 is less than 7, so 6 is sixth. 7th is less than 8, so 7th is seventh. 8 is automatically small, so 8th is eighth. The sequence is now sorted.
I'm done.
Alright, here's my plan. At my signal, you take the forks. I'll handle the owner.
What's taking so long?
Nothing much. My friend can't read to save his life.
Would be offended. It sounds right. Good sir, how are you faring today?
God, stop moving closer. You reek.
Nothing much. It's just me natural musk. Thief! Thief! Aye, it looks like someone wants to dance.
We got to hide these quick if we get caught.
Aye, but let's first sort them again. Since haste is needed, let us use our quick sort technique that me old pickle taught me. To do a quick sort, we start at both ends of the array. We will label the position on the left side I and the position on the right J. We also need a pivot, which we will randomly choose as 4. We increment position I towards the right if the value of I is less than the pivot. We also increment positions j towards the left if the value at j is greater than a pivot. If the values at j or I do not meet these conditions, or if the positions pass each other, then the loop stops. 1 is less than 4, so we move I to the right. 6 is greater than 4, so we move j to the left. 2 is less than 4, so we move I to the right. 5 is greater than 4, so we move j to the left. 3 is less than 4, so we move I to the right. 7 is greater than 4, so we move j to the left. 8 is greater than 4, so we stop I at 8. 4 equals 4, so we stop j at 4 because 4 is not greater than 4. Now with our finalized I and j positions, we switch to 2 elements. So 4 switches with 8. We also know that 4 is now sorted. Now we divide the arrays into the 2 sides of the pivot and repeat until we end up with single element sorted arrays. For our first divided array, we will randomly choose 2 as a pivot. 1 is less than 2, so I goes to the right. 3 is greater than 2, so j goes to the left. 2 is equal to 2, so both I and j stop at 2. We interchange 2 with itself, and now we split the array into 3 sorted single element arrays. These arrays on each side of the pivot are already sorted since they are 1 element long, so now we know that elements 1, 2, 3, and 4 are in order. For our second divided array, we will randomly choose 5 as our pivot. 8 is greater than 5, so I stops at 8. 6 is greater than 5, so j moves left. 5 is not greater than 5, so j stops at 5. We interchange 5 and 8, and now we divide again. We now know that 5 is sorted. We sort the rightmost array and choose 8 as a pivot. 6 is less than 8, so j stops at 6. 8 is not less than 8, so I stops at 8. We interchange 6 and 8. Now we know that 8 is sorted. For our last array, we will choose 6 as a pivot. 6 is no greater than 6, so j stays at 6. 7 is greater than 6, so I stays at 7. 6 and 7 interchange, and we know that 7 is sorted because it's the pivot, and 6 is sorted because it has only 1 element in its array. The sequence is now sorted.
Now that we're done, let's hurry up and let us go.
Yes, let us bury our treasure.
Watcha now, you no good progeny of rotten sea cows.